start at 6:15 because I figured we were gonna have some delays in how to set everybody up.
Only a couple minutes off, not that
couple
bad.
minutes.
Yeah, 30,
oh, it's 6:32.
32. Yeah,
I didn't expect this much. I thought we would have more time to like
so
talk and stuff. But we've got everybody live over here with a new system, much better than I think Zoom. Let's start off. We've got my dad Gaetano. How you doing?
I'm good.
Oh my God, I thought he was asleep.
You see the my Pelé autograph in the background?
I see it. Can you show us? Can you point to it? There we go. There we go.
Grande maestro.
That's Pelé doing a bicycle kick, signed by Pelé.
Signed by the man himself. Okay, I like that. I like that. All right, Antonio, the one that took us the longest to be able to get over here
and he's on his
to
phone.
Get your setup. We had to go back to your phone instead of your computer, even though we gave you the camera. Anto, how are you?
Good. Good. I'm happy.
Why are you happy?
I am on first place, guys.
Oh, boy. You can't make this up. You can't make this up. Oh, boy. Actually, there we go. Yeah, we see you. We see you, Anto.
Okay.
We see you.
I'm on first place. You asked me how am I doing? I'm in first place. I cannot be any better than this.
That's true. That's true. We've got a new system that we've been using during the live streams. So we're going to be able to see fans' comments that will be displayed to us. As you see right here, Anto Di Napoli said, "Can you guys say what's up to Antonio for me?"
Say it.
Do you see it?
Can you see it?
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah. So
say it.
So these are people
What's up,
commenting
guys?
right now, live.
Guys, what's up?
You understand?
I understand.
Okay.
Let me put my glasses on.
Yeah. Put your glasses. I think it will be good.
All right,
So,
go ahead.
guys, I like this. I like this. We almost have our podcast back in a good fashion. This is going to be lots of fun. For everybody that's commenting, I'm going to be sharing a bunch of yours right now, just like Paolo Girardi, who says, we love you, Anto.
Antonio. We love you, Antonio. Thank you. Everybody said that. Nice kid.
Nice kid.
That is Paolo. Guys, how is Peter? How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
You're doing good.
Yeah, listen.
With you, we have no problems. No delay, no video.
Pete's on cue with all this stuff. He's a guru.
High tech.
Are you sure you're doing good after the game against Juventus?
Wow. Already starting.
I think a lot of Juventus fans, they feel too happy right now. They only had 2 chances based off of Inter's mistakes to win the game. So we'll see what happens in the second leg.
That's all you need to win with a bunch of losers.
That's
like
it.
that.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You have to win. Bottom line is win.
Hey, it feels like the old Juventus a little bit with that. You know, they're a team that finally they didn't play great, but it's fine. You could accept it. But they got the job done. So everybody's getting mad. And you guys gave us a gift. I don't think you realized that Christmas was a month ago. So I thank you for the gifts.
No
2
problem.
gifts, multiple gifts, right, Pete?
2 gifts. I know we have a lot of topics to cover, as Michael will be popping them in because there's so much that's been happening. We've had games almost every single day, and it's going to be really exciting. By the way, I think we've got Ryan that's in the chat. He said, "I see Antonio finally learned how to use his camera, so he ain't going to see his brain."
Wow.
Let me tell you, that guy shouldn't be talking. As somebody that is cheering for Manchester United must be out of his mind. That guy, don't bother with him. We don't punk around with the MU fans, okay?
MU fans.
Okay, guys, we're gonna have Mike. First topic. What do we got? What are we talking about?
Well,
Lead us.
since Gaetano kind of showed it already, our first topic of the podcast is about the Derby d'Italia. How Inter got 2 away goals. Actually, Juventus got 2 goals against Inter without Lukaku and Hakimi. We might have to add one of their better players. So yeah, lay this off for you a little bit. What you think in the beginning? What you think during the game and afterwards? Looking for second leg.
Oh, in the first 10 minutes, Inter played with Juve, right? We scored a goal. Usually it takes Inter like 4 or 5 shots before actually getting one in, and Lautaro got the first shot in. I think Buffon it came at him pretty fast, so he didn't the reflex. He hit it, but it went through. But that being said, the first half, I think Inter didn't play as good as I wanted. I think Juventus, Pirlo. I gotta take these things off because it's confusing me. Yeah. I think Pirlo did the right thing I gotta take it off because I can't hear at all. So Pirlo made the right adjustments against Inter. They were able to press Inter right away. They got the penalty. You see Ashley Young pull at him. They called the penalty. It is what it is. They went to VAR. They saw it. Obviously, for an Inter fan, you look at that. The ball wasn't even near the box. It was like all the way hit to the corner flag. But nonetheless, he called the penalty, and Juventus Ronaldo got the penalty goal, 1-1, and the second goal. I mean, it was a complete blunder between Handanovic and Bastoni, something that you can't afford versus a Juventus. And that's not even youth 10. They make those mistakes. So it was disappointing to see, especially against Juve. Second half, I thought Inter did come out and play. I think they had more chances than Juventus in the second half. Clear chances. Sanchez, I mean, Demiral made the save off the line, and then even Darmian did everything right except just score. But listen, credit to Juventus. They were able to win, and they were able to score when the time was right. But did they really dominate Inter? I don't know. I don't think so. I think it was a tie would have been a fair result. And second leg, we'll have to see.
Hey, listen, nobody's asking you whether a tie was better or did you win, did you lose, or did you tie? You lost, right? Okay, so here's the deal. You found so many stupid excuses for a bunch of losers over there. You just named the first two, Handanovic and Bastoni, two national team players. Bastoni will not even qualify for a dog catcher or taking my dog for a walk to begin with. Bastoni doesn't even belong on the field to begin with, okay? So,
he shut down Ibrahimovic before.
Listen. Don't stay on topic, okay? Leave Ibrahimovic alone. He's getting to you, right? Ibrahimovic doesn't give a damn about the Coppa Italia. So the question was, what's your excuse for losing at home 2-1? Forget about how many chances you had, whether the penalty kick was on the edge of the area. The penalty was given a Juventus score, 1-1. Then Ronaldo embarrassed both Bastoni and Handanovic in take two pitches with one stone, okay? 2-1. Now Pirlo, which is supposed to be learning from Conte, all of a sudden is becoming the maestro, and Conte is becoming a pink. Don't make me say something. He's becoming a
punk. Is that what you were looking for?
Well, not punk is too nice for him.
Okay.
Well, we know he's a loser. Okay, let's stick with losers. So bottom line is Juventus almost 99% is moving on to the final. And my prayer, as much as I hate Juventus, it's that Inter doesn't win this, doesn't go to the final of Coppa Italia. It's like a win for us. We don't need to be in to win. We can stay out and win at the same time. You know, when you say in to win, we are out to win.
I think that the actually exciting part about the entire thing was like Juventus. I won't say that they played so much better. I don't think they were great. They took advantage of their chances, but it reminded me of the Juventus of the past that only got the chances that they got. They scored. They would win a game, and you look back and say, "Wow, Juventus didn't even do anything incredible." But it's a much. I think the key is that it's a much better reaction than what we saw the last time that these two teams played. The first game, Juventus were not pressing. Pirlo did not adapt to them. This game, Juventus adapted to Inter, and I think that Inter got shut down. For the goal, for the penalty, I mean, I don't know who was worse, Ashley Young pulling Cuadrado down or Bernardeschi's cross, because they were just both horrible in and of its own. They were not aligned at all. It was pretty crazy. But at the end of the day, they got through. They got the two own goals, the two away goals. Sorry, and I think that what we had said. When Lukaku is not playing for Inter, it's not just about the character of Lukaku. The entire system of Inter is based around this big number 9 who gives the ball off. They played Sanchez and Lautaro who together don't do it. They're two of the same type of
They
player.
cancel each other out.
They don't work on the Conte's system. Conte's entire system is based around that number 9, lays the ball off, everybody goes out wide. And then on top of that, you don't have that guy out wide like Hakimi to be putting in those crosses. And then Ashley Young, who, I mean, disaster. So I think that it was more so that from the Inter side.
It was, I think it was definitely that, Marco. I agree with you what you said about Lukaku, how they're definitely so dependent on him, and you could see all the games he hasn't played. We had a post about him that the games that he wasn't in, I think they lost the majority of them.
They had no wins,
which
out
is
of 5.
which is pretty crazy. What the hell was I gonna just say now and I forgot?
We'll get to circle back to you.
Yeah,
Dad, you got anything to say about this game?
Yeah, I mean, Juventus 5 wins in a row. It was not the prettiest win, but when you think that Ronaldo is not scoring any goals or a couple of games and he cannot score, here comes with 2 more goals. The guy scored 87 goals in 112 games. Hello, Antonio. 87.
Listen, we don't care about statistics. Just stay
112 games.
Stay on topic.
And he could be the fastest. Sivori was the fastest, 100 goals in 124 games, which he could probably do it. Inter had I disagree with Antonio. Juventus is not in 99%. No way. But it's probably 55-45 for Juventus to go through. It was, I saw 2 players got very upset when they were taken out, Vidal and Ronaldo. I mean, Vidal was really, really upset. But these guys, they need to respect also whoever comes in their place. And the other thing that I would like to comment is Eriksen. Why did it take him so long to put Eriksen? He gave him 20 minutes. I mean, the guy, he had played good in the previous game. I thought he should have put him a little bit before, at least give him, more than 30 minutes, 30, 40 minutes. That's my...
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Anto, you have anything to say before we move on?
Listen, here's the deal. I think Inter, they've been playing lately with a lot of jumping around because it's a lot of rumors on the locker room. The money is running out. The faucet is dry. There is no more water dripping from the faucet. The cash is coming to an end, and Zhang is leaving because soon is coming. His wallet is coming a little short. So Mr. Conte, he's looking forward maybe to extend his contract with somebody with a little bit more brain. Instead of getting 12 million euro a year, he's going to get probably 12 euros a year, and he's worrying about his job. So he's going to have to do all he promised with what he has right now because nobody's buying anything for him. The supermarket is closed, my friend. No more people. Peter was bragging. Oh, we're getting this before. Before this whole thing started, Peter was just everywhere he went on the podcast, on the street, live stream, even a stream. He used to call me and used to tell me, Antonio, we got this, we got that, with this, we got that. He got anything he want. You show him the menu, and he picked up the most expensive meal for Inter. So now they're looking at the bottom of they're looking at like a children's meal or a child meal or a
dollar menu.
Yeah. So hey, you just have to learn from the scrap bottom feeder like we are on AC Milan. We take all rejects and we make them into champions. Okay, so now I'd like to see what's the excuse of the magician over there. That every time that Inter comes out short, he picks up another excuse from his app. What's your excuse right now, bald head?
Right back at you.
That was the next topic that we were going to go to.
Yeah, and it was. And actually, there's a donation straight for that. I'm going to pop it in. Gio, thanks for the donation. He asked actually Peter's point of view for the financial. What do you think about the sale? Since apparently a lot of Interisti were laughing at Milan's stay, it seems like the tables have turned a little bit.
Let's explain the situation a little bit to give some context. And I was pretty surprised by this and confused, to be honest with you, because after the match, Conte said there's no point in hiding that that there's problems with the club, and that since August, he said the project hasn't been there. Now, I was confused because I didn't think things were as bad as they were. Obviously, in the newspaper, so many things have been written. If Suning are going to sell Inter, that they've been hard on funds, and I'll leave that to Peter to explain that part because he understands it a lot better than I do. But the rumors in the newspaper now have said multiple things where this BC Partners could come in, where it seemed at a minority stake. Now they're saying it could be a majority or to buy Suning out totally. I know even Corriere della Sera saying that Zhang does not want to leave without winning the Scudetto, that he wants to retain this team until the summer at least, but there are even rumors that March Inter could be sold. Peter, explain that side a little bit because I know you know it better than we do.
Well, I mean, the unfortunate thing is that, since August, as Conte wanted to say, Inter realized that they were in this financial problem. Like other teams, COVID has affected them massively, but it seems that the Suning group, the money that they planned or the assets that they have, for some reason, are frozen or not able to have access to. So at this point, it's left, the whole Inter fan base, with question marks because we seemed on the right path, right? We had Steven Zhang, who's the president. He was doing everything, and you saw Inter actually have Intermedia House and doing content, and when they were announcing players, it was fun and getting into the new.
They did an incredible job.
Into the 21st century. So that was very important in social media. So like on that side, it was good. Then even, as far as creating a project, right? They decided on Marotta. They decided on Conte. The players that they were buying were specific to what Conte wanted. So everything seemed to be making sense. Whether you like it or you don't like it, that's, you have to leave to the side. At least they kept to their promise, to their project. But this financial, instability has left Inter with a serious problem because one, they don't even have money to pay agents. They don't have money to pay the players' salaries, which is a very big problem because you can, potentially lead to points reduction, in the season, especially when Inter are right there. That's a difficult thing. But besides all that, now you're looking at Inter being forced to sell. Suning being forced to sell because they don't have the funds, and they also want a crazy number. I think they had a value of Inter around 1 billion to 900 million. BC Partners supposedly valued Inter at 750. I see Antonio's face, but that's what the value that they had. So they're looking at that. They're looking at that value. No. And Suning has put well over 600 million. So they want, double that at least. Not double, but get them a better amount than the 750. So we'll have to see what happens. But answering Gio, yeah, I mean, I think a lot of the Inter fans might have been like, oh, look at Milan. But the Elliott Group, I have to, tip my hat to them. They've done an amazing job.
Yeah, I mean, Peter, I think you said it good, and we got a donation from Sunil who also said it's not just in there's a lot of talent teams away. It's kind of built, and especially for broadcasting stadiums that they're not owned. There's all revenue that gets piled up over the years that the Serie A teams could be using, but they're, what do you call it? Yeah, this echo annoys me. But instead of using that money, they're losing all that money compared to like EPL teams that other than they have like their salary for mid-table EPL team compared to a mid-table Serie A team is far greater, and the gap's only getting bigger.
Yeah.
Hey, okay, listen, guys, listen to me, please. Let's simplify here what's going on. Okay, Peter went through a barrage of excuses to justify what Inter is doing and what it can happen in case the salary and not the salary. Here's the deal, okay? Very simple. I used to watch a show in the TV. The name of the show was Cops. It was about the police department. Yes. And they used to use this word, keep it simple, stupid, okay? So I'm not saying this that you guys are stupid, but this is my question to you, Peter. You guys build up two national teams, one on the field.
His national team. Him and national team.
Listen to me. That's my turn. You got two national teams. One in the field and one in the bench. You got Eriksson. You got Sanchez. You got 9 goal on. Now you sold it again. You got basically anything that you wanted and you demanded, you got it. Now, all of a sudden, where else do you need? I said, this is what we need. And when I remember asking Peter, Pete, what do you need to win the triplete again? We need this, this, and this. So finally, you got it, right, Pete? What's your excuse now? You are out of the Champions League. You are out of the UEFA League. You are almost out of the Coppa Italia. And sure enough, I just hope that this is going to happen. You're going to be out of the Campionato. And if they don't pay your salary, that will be the best. Okay? This is the reasons why there is a maximum exodus from China. Pele is coming back. Cannavaro is coming back. Just about anybody is packing, putting everything on the luggage and taking the one-way flight back to Italy. All right? So, bottom line is this. Money, no honey. Okay, Pete? Forget about the salary and then Marotta. This is all BS.
Yeah, but the problem, Antonio.
Listen, you guys, you overspend, and now you cannot even place losers because you did nothing but buying yourself.
It's not about overspending. The thing is that we had a project, and the players that we have, we don't have any more money. There's no money to even pay the players right now. That's what it looks like because they haven't been paid still.
I like that.
One more time. The camera missed
I like it. I like it. We have no more money to pay the player. Is the best sentence that you ever said right now. I hope you just running out of money now as we speak now. No more.
So the one thing that's crazy is that this is, I think we would all agree that this is Inter's big shot to win the Scudetto this year. It's, the biggest thing. They could be out of Coppa Italia. They're obviously out of Champions League. It would be insane if the club, like going through these problems at this time is such a bad moment because it's the 1 year that they've really been able to bounce back. I do want to let's move topics.
Before we do have a donation before we move topics. This is also for Peter. I think he's Interista. He said, if Inter is struggling for money, do you think you can lose players like Hakimi and Barella, etc., the top prospects, or you think this maybe can be recovered in the future so they don't have to worry about selling?
Well, I think it comes down to selling the club. If you sell the club and they maintain the project that they wanted, you're not forced to sell players. But if Suning decides to stay, or has enough capital to pay everybody but just not to buy any more players, you risk that. Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily sell them to Juve, but you can sell them to Real Madrid and these other top clubs around Europe. But that's a potential risk. You risk not having a solid project to go buy players that you want and keeping the players that you have.
Peter, sell what? What are you going to sell?
Barella, you're not going to sell?
Oh, Barella, yes, they're probably the only player. Who else will buy this bunch of losers that you have?
Yeah.
Nobody will take. If you were to pay me to take them on AC Milan, except for Barella, all the rest, I would just kick them out. I said, you guys don't belong over here. Just go learn to play on the park before you actually step into the AC Milan team. That's it.
For donations, let's keep on topic first, and then we'll pop in the donations after for everybody that sends it so that we keep on topic. Anto, so we had some news just to switch it up right now that Mancini is going to be stepping down after the 2022 World Cup for the Azzurri. He tipped 3 names to be potential next guys. I know we already got Antonio's opinion, and it's not like we needed Antonio's opinion because we already had it before. But I wanted to ask my dad who you think would be a good option. So who he named was Allegri, Ancelotti, this is Mancini, and Gasperini. For you, which of these 3 names, or an outsider if you want, would excite you for the national team after Mancini?
I think that the number one name would have to be Allegri. I think Allegri is the one that is more balanced and it could take this team to and knows very, very good the Italian players. Somebody just wrote Ancelotti is the most deserving. Ancelotti is good. Ancelotti would certainly do a good job, but I think Allegri is the man that I would choose him first.
Antonio, you've been shaking your head. You put your hands on your head too. What's your opinion on Allegri as Italy's next coach potentially?
You know, your father, I mean, he's my friend, but when it comes down to the Italian national team, it's always wrong. Let me tell you why. First of all, Allegri has been proven that with Juventus, with the top players that were given to him, he didn't get the job done at the national level and the Champions League level. So, I mean, when I say national level, I mean at the Serie A level and during the Champions League. This guy here.
What are you talking about?
Wait,
What the hell are you talking about?
I'm talking about Agnelli. I mean, what's his name?
How many championships in a row did he win? He went to two finals of the Champions League. What else you want him to do?
He didn't win any World Cup.
He's the
He didn't have a chance to coach a national team.
He's the winningest coach probably in Europe.
Listen, Paisa, listen to me. If you look in a style, look at the style. If you look at technical intelligence, ability, and smartness,
He's just making shit up at this point.
Hello.
Whatever comes to mind, he's saying.
Everybody's laughing. Hey, listen. It's my turn, okay? I'll let you
It's always your turn, Anto.
If you want to compare Agnelli with Gasperini, Agnelli's not even.
Stop saying Agnelli.
It's almost the same. They all become the same. Listen to me. If you want to put Allegri and compare him with Gasperini, these guys are not even qualified to clean the dust of the dirt under the shoes of Gasperini. Gasperini is a technical guru. He's a strategist that will put anybody to shame. He has proven year after year that with unknown players, Atalanta is always there fighting for the Champions League and for the Campionato. Having a budget that is not even 1/10 of what Juventus has. Now, if you want to tell me, I wanted to see Allegri doing what Gasperini does with Atalanta, with unknown players. And Allegri right now, you know what we've been doing? We'll be cleaning the locker room of Atalanta. Okay? That's it.
Antonio, to take over a national team, you don't need the Gasperini and tactics. You know what they call the national team coach in Brazil, Seleção? You have to select the players. They don't even call him a coach. What's important is to select the players that are for the national team, because you know they don't spend, except for the World Cup, they're only together for 1 or 2 days, and then they play the game. It's not that the only time that they have 1 month is for the World Cup. All the rest of the competition, they get together, they got 1 or 2 days, and then they play the game. So that's why they call it a select. You know, you select the players. So you don't need somebody like Gasperini you need somebody that knows to put the players together and let them play together.
That's a very good
Then
point.
at this point, I can select the player better than anybody else. Then I can be the
That's
coach
like
of
you're
the Italian
crazy.
national team.
Anto, we got Alberto who asks, ask Antonio how about Sarri?
Oh, please. I will just, take my citizenship and throw it on the garbage.
Can I take it? I'm looking for one.
Listen, I do not want Sarri to get close to the Italian national team, not even with a 20 miles pole. Okay? No.
Anto, let me write that down.
Write it down. Sarri does not belong in Italy. Okay? If let him be the coach of somebody else, not in the Italian national team.
Okay, fair enough. Next topic that we'll go to. We said ours. Next topic, Edin Dzeko. He's been a big talking point, obviously, with everything that happened at Roma. For those that don't know, he had a falling out with Fonseca, and they tried to sell him before the Mercato ended in January. They were not able to. He almost did a swap deal in the last minute with Alexis Sanchez. Did not go through, obviously. He has now been stripped of the captain's armband, and Pellegrini, who's been a great leader of Roma, is the new captain for them. And we're saying, can this be a similar situation to Icardi? And what do they need to do to get back together? Because obviously, Uh-oh, Antonio. Don't touch your phone, Anto. If you touch it, it's going to get messed up.
Lower battery. I'm just put the juicer on.
Okay, go for it. Obviously, it's something that we spoke about. Anything that you think needs to be done to be better, Gaetano?
No, I mean, Dzeko had a big fight after the game with Spezia for the Coppa Italia, where Roma lost 4-2, and Fonseca made a six substitution. Pellegrini was the only one that went to Fonseca, while the game was, because you cannot do that. And after the game, while they were going to the locker rooms, there was a very heated discussion and screaming and yelling, and big words were used between Fonseca and Dzeko. So that was one of the when they started. So it's a little bit. I don't know if I could compare it to Icardi. This is, I think, is a little bit different. So there was a fallout between Dzeko and the next day, the players, they had a 3-hour meeting. The players didn't even want to go to practice. They refused to go to practice. And then eventually Pinto was there. They talked to each other and they decided to practice the next day. Now, what we discussed in the last podcast was, hey, get somebody to get them together, apologize, and keep going. So Dzeko went to Fonseca with Pinto. They talked about it, and they said, for the better of the team and for us to go to the Champions League, let's play ball. And I think that was wise from everybody. But, of course, he's going to lose his captain, which, according to what I hear, now the leaders are Pellegrini and Costante. So I think that they're going to be okay. They're going to play. Dzeko is going to play because if he's a professional, he has to play and he has to give his best. In June, then they can decide to go apart and everybody goes their own way. But I think for the time being, Pinto is saying all the right things. Fonseca is our leader. And I think once you get to June and you see where the team ends up and how the team reacts, then if you need to make the changes, you make the changes then.
Yeah.
I mean, I think this is bad on Dzeko because it seems like right now they're performing without him. Mayoral seems like a great player, and he's much younger than Dzeko. Apparently, from reports, Dzeko did apologize, and to be honest, I think that's the smartest thing to do because the mercato, it stopped now. He couldn't find the exit. Now I think the best thing to do is, mend the relationship with Fonseca and just give the best he could. And hopefully at the end of the season, if he still wants to leave, he can go to a big club still because, we all know how good Dzeko is. But, so far everyone has Fonseca's backing and just a matter of time to see if Dzeko's still on the boat or not with him.
But also just to include, another coach is not going to want to come into this situation. So like if Allegri is one of the names he mentioned, like he wants to have the team from the start of the preseason, not during a mid-season. So that's another issue. So Fonseca has to be, supported. Dzeko's situation, it's more like Gaetano said, not so much like Icardi, but more maybe like Papu Gomez and Gasperini. And we all know how what happened. The only difference is that Dzeko's salary is a lot more and Roma will want something back. So that was the hard thing to be able to separate or sell him during this market where nobody had money to spend.
The only thing that
no, it's definitely going to be interesting to see if Dzeko plays and has a good rest of the season, because it's hard if a relationship breaks. Remember, these guys are human beings. So if you don't like another person, it's going to be hard to react for him, especially when it comes down to passion.
The only thing that I forgot to say is that with Papu Gomez and with Icardi, Dzeko has been on the market for the last summer he was on the market. He's been in the market for a while, and that's different than the other two situations.
Yeah, fair enough. Makes sense. And to segue more towards Atalanta, Lazio, and Roma. I know we have a question over here where we wanted to see everybody's opinion. By the way, Ludovico, we had Ludovico on, and he wants Juric or De Zerbi as Napoli's next coach after Gattuso. After not now, but in the summer.
Let me tell you something, Dzeko, Marco. There's a lot of people they keep just swimming around what the problem with Dzeko is. Dzeko is never going to give what he has given to Roma up to now on the field. So Dzeko, whether you like it or not, is done. Whether the paper says he apologized or he spoke with Fonseca and he spoke with the manager over there, whatever is his name. I forgot. Gaetano just mentioned his name, which is a nobody for me. So the bottom line is Dzeko was the leader. It was the franchise player of Roma after Totti. Everything rotated around Dzeko. Now you're taking the captainship bands out of Dzeko and you give it to Pellegrini. Pellegrini, whether he plays or whether he doesn't play, nobody's missing him. If you're playing a game of Roma against Juventus and Pellegrini is missing, nobody's gonna care. But if Dzeko's missing, then oh shit, Dzeko is not gonna be there. So here's what is gonna happen. They couldn't place it on the market because Dzeko is 34 years old right now, and the other team, they don't want to cough up the money, even though they try to swap Dzeko with Sanchez, which is like swapping God against somebody that is picking up garbage from the street. Sanchez has got no business of being exchanged for Dzeko. So that's why if you want to put maybe Lautaro and Lukaku together for Dzeko, maybe it will be an even exchange. But to close my point, Roma is going to be in trouble without Dzeko, even when Dzeko is on the field, because Dzeko on the field without the captainship and without being the leader, without the acknowledgement of the club, is not going to produce what he has produced up to now. He's not going to kill himself. He's going to just do the spawn that is going to make him believe that he's earning his salary. At the end of the day, 2 more months from now, Dzeko is going to be history for Roma. Have a nice weekend, guys.
I'm just ready to end the podcast there.
We got like 2 more topics, and then we'll let you go. Who's gonna finish higher? Napoli, Atalanta, Lazio, or Roma? Peter, what do you think?
The beginning of the season, Lazio. I'll say Atalanta.
Okay, I will say Atalanta too. Mike?
You guys, I was gonna say Atalanta, but now screw. You guys both said I'm gonna go with Roma.
I mean, you could have your own opinion. It's fine. Gaetano, Dad, what do you think?
Say the 4 teams again. I was looking at my friend Duff is watching us. I want to give a shout out to my friend Duff from Florida. Say the 4 teams again.
So it is shout out to Duff. We got Napoli.
He's a big Man United fan.
Oh God, does he know Ryan?
Yeah, Ryan. It's yes, he knows Ryan.
I wonder what. I don't know if that means he speaks highly of Ryan. But so it was Napoli, Atalanta, Lazio, or Roma.
Man, I went with Napoli at the beginning, and now there's a mess of De Laurentiis. If De Laurentiis, if he would stay home, I think Napoli would have a chance. So I'll go with Roma.
Okay.
Grande.
And Antonio Cassano.
Atalanta.
Oh, really? I wasn't expecting
Yeah, that's a surprise.
Okay, this is a segment that I know Antonio is going to love. We'll probably have to give him a second. Overrated and underrated. Who has been the most overrated and underrated player this season so far in the Campionato? When you guys think of something, Michael?
Give Anto a whole hour over here.
Mike?
You
wrote
give
the
me 10
question?
seconds. Yeah, I didn't even think about
You wrote
that.
the question.
I wrote
Who would you say
blindly.
is your most overrated player?
My most overrated player.
Okay, I think my dad has it.
Okay,
No.
You look
Bernardeschi.
Oh, yeah. Underrated?
Overrated.
No. And for underrated?
Probably I can pronounce his name. The goalkeeper from Szczesny from Juventus.
That's who I was thinking too for underrated. I would have Szczesny. Antonio, do you have an underrated or overrated?
The last one. I want to hear you guys. Go ahead.
Okay, Peter, do you have an underrated or overrated player?
Yeah, player. You know what? I'll go underrated. I'm gonna go with Milan's player, Kjaer.
Okay.
Because I think when he was in the defense, it was definitely a big advantage for Milan. And overrated.
For overrated, I'll jump in while you're thinking. For me, it's Lautaro. I think that we've really seen the true colors of Lautaro this year. Underrated, since I'll change it from Szczesny, since that was his name. Benacer. I think when Benacer's not been there for Milan, we've seen the true value of him.
I think I got mine.
Okay.
I'm gonna take this shit. Underrated.
I thought you had it.
I did have it. Okay, my okay for.
Jesus Christ. He's so scared to say it.
All right, go ahead, Anton.
Okay.
Yeah,
I got it. Is he gonna go on?
No, Mike.
Okay, my overrated. I think I'm gonna go with Osimhen. I think Napoli paid so much for him, and yes, I know he got injured with COVID and all that stuff. But if someone's gonna pay that much money, I think you're gonna have to perform. You're gonna have to stay a professional on and off the pitch. Which there were some question marks for that. Underrated, I think Zaccagni from Hellas Verona. I think he's been incredible. I think he's going to be close to getting a call-up for the Azzurri. He's been scoring too. And Hellas Verona are doing great with him with a lot of losses from there.
That was a very Michael answer
I think I might have overrated that people not going to like. But
good.
I'm going to say Morata. Because I'm looking at the goals scored in Serie A. 4 goals for a number 9 for Juve. Not good enough.
You check the Champions League goals.
I don't care about Champions League. I'm talking about Serie A.
That's overrated. Did you have underrated?
Underrated, I said Kjaer.
Oh, yeah. You're right. Okay, Antonio, you waited for the rest of us to go. It's your turn.
All right. So I would say this. I would stick with what you said about Benacer has been underrated. Because Benacer, last year, he starting to show up on the scene. We knew he was a good player, but being Milan and taking over the entire midfield with Kessier, we knew he had some juice and some quality, but Benacer, he really did it to the highest level. Benacer is like the Pirlo of AC Milan right now. So he's the underrated. With him, I would put another underrated, which is the right wing of Lazio. I forgot his name right now. The guy that
Lazzari?
Right wing back.
That's a very good one.
He's one of the best players that that is playing for Lazio. That is creating unbelievable damage everywhere he touches the ball. He just creates a mess for everybody. So Lazzari and Benacer are underrated. Overrated. Let me see. I think both the Lula over there. Those are overrated. The
Lukaku.
Them two overrated.
No, come on. Lukaku, if anything, he's
been the best.
He's underrated.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something.
So
that if you're not that kind of player, you're supposed to come through when the time demands it. In Champions League, you didn't do it. In the Coppa Italia, you didn't do it. On the UEFA League, you didn't do it. When it counts, they don't score. When it doesn't count, 4-1, 3-1, 6-0, nobody cares. You have the score when the goal is going to count. That's why you are overrated. Nobody cares that you won 4-1 against Crotone. That doesn't mean anything because those are all Christmas presents that they keep coming to you. Even if when you don't want the ball, the goalkeeper is going to give you the ball. So if you're not getting the ball from your teammate, the goalkeeper of the opposite team is going to give it to you. That doesn't make you a good player just because you scored. You have the score against Juventus, AC Milan, Lazio, Inter, Roma, whatever, to make you a good player. So for me, both of them, they're not worth the money and the salary that they're getting paid.
We do have the next part of the question was overrated and underrated coach. I'll start it off with underrated. I will say Verona's Juric, I think, has been underrated. I think achieving what he has with Verona, at least going into the season, not many, he was passed on by some other teams that probably should have taken up their option for him. That's my underrated. Overrated, I'm struggling to find an overrated coach in here. Does anyone want to step in?
I could step
Mike?
in.
Okay.
I think for underrated, I got to give some credit to Ludo for this because he keeps praising Vincenzo Italiano.
Oh.
With Spezia has been playing incredible football with pretty much a Serie B team. They didn't get too many purchases. By the way, Enzola, their striker, he's amazing. That guy scores almost every game. But they play some nice attacking football. Usually these teams that just get promoted try to stay back, defend, try to steal a point. But these guys play good. So
That was a better
it's
answer
nice.
than mine.
It's refreshing.
Peter?
I would say underrated. I'm gonna go with the Zerbi. I think what he's able to do with Sassuolo, the style of play, even though they let in too many goals, I hope he will be able to change that. Maybe this year or to the next year, get some defenders that can play. But what he's able to do and the style that you see Sassuolo always playing positive football is always entertaining to watch. And having Sassuolo, in 8th place, right behind they used to call them the 7 stepsisters, is always nice to see. It's a new reality. And I would say overrated, I have 2 that come into mind.
Nice.
I had trouble with one.
One, unfortunately, is someone that I do like, but I just, with this Bologna team, Mihailovic, I'm not crazy about where they are in the positioning, and even the players that they have, I expect them to do much better. So I think Mihailovic, has some fault in that. But really, my number 1 overrated is Di Francesco, and this guy has fallen off the map.
You're right.
When you had Roma going into the semifinals, of the Champions League,
Wow.
and then getting sacked by Sampdoria,
Right.
where you couldn't even get past 5 games, and now what you're doing with Cagliari,
Do
where you
13
got some good
games.
players, and the crazy thing, he got renewed.
Bro, they didn't win a game.
They're looking to sack
they didn't win
Gattuso, and they
35
renewed Di
games.
Francesco's
Yeah,
contract,
yeah.
and he's in the
It's
bottom
crazy.
3 right now. So it's really, really bad.
That's a really good answer. Dad, you got your answer for underrated or overrated?
Underrated is Fonseca. I mean, the guy has been doing a great job. He's in 3rd place, and with all these issues that he has, is still hanging there. And I think they're talking about sending him off every other week. If he loses 1 game, they want to send him off. The guy is in 3rd place with this team.
You have an overrated?
And overrated, unless Conte wins the Campionato, and Coppa Italia is overrated.
Okay, I would agree with that. That's a good answer. My only other overrated, and I know this is probably going to piss some people off, and I love the guy as a man, but Gattuso. I have to be honest. I mean, he has taken the soul out of Napoli. And I know there's other problems, but his football is as boring and mundane as it gets. I used to love watching Napoli for the beauty that they used to have. They used to play with the 4-3-3 that was gorgeous, and it was exciting. I feel like every Napoli game I watch right now is so lackluster. And again, I think I got really pissed when I saw Gattuso not going for it in the final against Juventus. That was almost the final straw where I was sticking up for him because I love the guy, but that was the final straw. Anto, we need an underrated and overrated.
An underrated is my Pippo Inzaghi, because he has brought Benevento to a decent position on the Serie A, and he has given a good fight to basically most of the team that he has faced up to now. And my overrated is my idol. It's Conte. This guy over. It's not the overrated. It's the extra overrated. There is nobody can top this guy here. Not in Italy, in the world. It's too much. It's overrated in terms of how much money he's getting paid. It's overrated how much he has promised and how much he has not delivered it. And it's overrated at every level. He's got the worst body language, and he's very demanding. He's very demanding. And he gets a red card, yellow card. He's the worst of the worst. And at the same time, everybody, including all of you said, oh, Conte style. Conte has not created any style. There is no such a thing as Conte style. The 3-5-2, it was invented by Gasperini, and Conte, as an overrated coach, he has managed to destroy the 3-5-2. because it's not capable to adapt it into a 4-4-2 or into a 4-3-1-2 or whatever. Ask the guru of your father. He knows that better than me.
Okay.
Marco, we're going to talk quickly about Napoli Atalanta. Otherwise, I want to say something about Gattuso, which you mentioned Gattuso.
I wasn't planning to just because I was so bored, but if you want to take it
Okay.
over, you
All
can
right,
say.
so let me just say something about Gattuso because
Yeah.
Gattuso, I feel bad for him because he's in a really bad situation. I mean, you saw Carlo Ancelotti. The guy ran away from Napoli because of the president, De Laurentiis. And I think that this president is putting so much pressure, and he does things in a backward way that influences Gattuso. I mean, Gattuso at one point he played with 5 defenders against Atalanta. He played with no center forward. I mean, these guys, they had Milik in the house, and Milik had one of the best percentages between games played and goals scored, and the guy ran away too. So a lot of it, I think, has to do also with the club as a whole, because Gattuso is working very hard, and at one point, I thought that they still the best thing for Napoli is they still in the Coppa Italia. They could still do it. They're in the European League, and they still can do it with the Champions League, even though you have a president like De Laurentiis.
We're gonna start ending, but there's a lot of donations. Michael's just gonna run through them. Anything that you guys want to comment on, we comment on.
Yeah, I'll throw them on the screen too. Thank you for the donation, Sunil. They said, talking about Azzurri, this was when we're talking about it. They said, considering the youth, the team needs a man manager that could develop them. It's either gonna be between Allegri or
Ancelotti.
Ancelotti, yeah. Ancelotti, Allegri.
Yeah, we agree with that.
We definitely agree with Allegri one. The next donation from Cliff. Thanks for the donation. He said, "Who's the best non-Italian Serie A history, not including CR7 and Maradona because they're obvious." Also, can't wait to have Anto and Gaetano back in the studio. God bless and continue staying safe. Cliff, thanks so much, guys. Anyone want to jump on this one?
Thank you, Cliff. There were a few that my idol was Falcao. I mean, he was my idol. But Zico, who played in the 1982 Brazil national team, I mean, Zico was fantastic. So yeah, we had in the past some unbelievable players at the level. And I go back to Gullit and Van Basten. I mean, there were fantastic players. At one point, we had Platini, Zico, Falcao, Alemão. I mean, we had Van Basten, Gullit, Rijkaard, some of the great players. Did I say Platini?
Yes.
No, did you?
No.
Yeah, he did.
You did.
Okay.
Yeah,
Platini.
okay.
I mean, Platini was unbelievable. I mean, the guy, what a player. Between Zico and I would say between Zico and Platini at this after the ones that he mentioned, Maradona and Ronaldo.
Anto?
Only Maradona for me. Maradona is the one.
He said
besides
beside
Maradona.
Oh, besides Maradona. Oh boy. I'll tell you what.
I'll go first, and you tell.
Van Basten.
Van Basten, okay. Well, I was gonna say the Brazilian Ronaldo, obviously, but then besides that, I remember my grandfather told me about La Grande Inter, Jair and Luis Suarez, one from Spain, Brazil. They were top.
I think my favorite, and I'm not saying the best, but I'll go with favorite just to be a little different. Kaká. I had a real love for Kaká. I love the player that he was creative, he was inventive. When I watched him, it's like the joy of football just to see him play. The magician he was.
If I had to pick, even though I got I jumped in late. No, Ronaldinho. I feel like he brought so many viewers to the Serie A in general, and I feel like he helped develop the game even more, brought more eyes, and he's such a magician to watch. Next donation. This one.
Sorry, we forgot.
He said
Tomori.
Michael doesn't hear you. That's why my dad was saying.
He said Zidane.
We forgot Zidane. It was he's up there too with Zico and Platini and Kaká.
Agreed. So Tomori is better than Bastoni. Forza Milan per sempre, Forza Anto.
You got that right. You got that right, man.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. Tomori's been nice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, from the short time we've seen him, he's looking solid.
Anto,
Solid.
thoughts?
Let him starting to get him acclimated. This guy is gonna become the next Baresi, okay?
Man.
Let him start to
Oh
get,
my
you know,
God.
let him start to get with the tomatoes. With
Play
the,
2 games next Baresi.
with some nice panini. This guy here is gonna put everybody down to shame. The same way Theo Hernandez is doing on the left side. This guy here is gonna just do it just as well on the right hand side, or just pairing up on the middle with either Romagnoli and Kaiser, whatever you want to call him. Okay.
Peter, any quick thoughts? Because I wanted to run through these donations quick.
Nah, I mean Antonio is shot. I'm sorry to say that, but he's shot. Tomori is gonna be the next Baresi. That's it. I rest my case.
Yeah, Mike.
Next donation. This one is coming from Joseph.
There actually is a button to mute Antonio. I've been muting him all night.
That's my
because his
favorite
voice
button,
is
by the way.
crackling.
Joseph said, any comments on Campobasso's big win against Riete? Bonta is fun to watch. Forza Milan, Forza Iftv. So yeah, this is actually incredible. Campobasso is 3 points in first with 2 games in hand. So if they play that, they get those next 2 wins. Hopefully, fingers crossed. 9 points in first. Serie C, it's looking good. So yeah,
Can't say so.
yeah. I don't want to say that, but hoping for the best.
Hey, what about
next donation?
Yo, wait, Mike.
Yeah.
About the Campobasso, the guy that scored even the 4th goal in Campobasso. It's called Di Domenico Antonio.
Oh yeah, Domenico Antonio or something,
Yeah.
right?
Man, I was just when I read his name, I said, "Wow, great player, number 1, and number 2, we have to find a way to write his name on the back of the jersey. Maybe we're gonna wrap it all around because it's a long." Okay. Hey,
yeah. So next,
to Campobasso. Okay, we are still in first place. Those are all the underdogs, like AC. We almost have the same color shirts, and the underdogs and the Lupi, they always. Woo, the crowd. We're coming after you. Peter.
Wait, how did it go?
We're coming after you. Okay.
You were muted. You were muted. We missed it. What happened?
Forza Campobasso.
Yes, sir. Okay, Mike.
Yeah, the next donation from Cliff. Thank you so much. He said Destro has been overlooked this year. Yeah, actually, there's a crazy stat that in the middle of December, no one scored more goals than him. So that I think he has 8 goals in 8 games. So he's in incredible form. Ever since I feel like he scored against Milan, Anto hated Destro. But yeah, moving on to the next donation.
Yeah, Destro's been amazing. I think comeback player of the year, maybe. He's been gone. Actually, he's been gone for about 4 or 5 years. So this was important.
There was somebody that you guys all got excited for in the beginning of one season, and then he died down, and I was like, oh, let's just wait. Anyway.
I
won't be
think
negative.
it's better.
I'm not going to be
next donation from Gio. Thank you. He said Pio underrated and Anto.
Pioli.
Pioli underrated. Anto, stop being angry. Milan are in first place, and we're taking it 1 game at a time. You need to be happy.
Hello.
Okay, listen. Look at me.
And
he's a Milan fan, by the way.
Do I look depressed to you? We still not going to win anything unless we come into the last two games of the season. Until then, we're just taking game by game, and wherever you guys leave on the table, we're going to take it. If you're allowing us to be on first place, it's not because you're doing us any favor. It's because we're probably better than anybody else in Serie A right now. See, at the end of the year, if we're still on first place, there is no thank you to anybody. Okay, so I'm not depressed. I'm not angry. I love it.
Good.
And we were not supposed to be on place, according to your father, to Mike, to Peter, and to Marco too. When I all were laughing at me. Now that we are on first place, all of a sudden the laugh is getting a little okay, all right.
Anto, may I remind you, who did you pick to win the Scudetto this year?
I did. I picked up AC Milan.
No, No, you didn't pick up AC Milan to win the Scudetto. So don't talk about who we pick.
I pick Inter every year because
Yeah.
I want to keep Inter happy. I want to keep that happy.
So much.
Thank you, Antonio.
Guys, we're gonna have to end. I know Chris, big Udinese fan. He's always commenting about Udinese. Shout out and thank you for everybody who donated. Udinese signed one of the top talents in all of Europe, higher rated than Tomori, Man City's #1 youth talent, U23 player of the year. So yes, guys, that's it. Good first podcast back to everyone over here. It was nice to see some of your faces. Others maybe a little less so, but either way, I think that there's a much better format. I think the people enjoy.
Yeah, and the Lazio Nation from Gio.
They go read it.
What?
They go read
I want to hear Anto's reaction. They said, Anto, it's blasphemy. Don't compare Tomori to the next Baresi, the GOAT Baresi.
Yeah, listen. Well, what's his name of this gentleman here?
He's a Milan fan.
He's a Milanista.
Gio.
What?
He's a Milan fan. His name is Gio.
Hey, Gio, listen, I do it to piss those guys off. I want to just get them so rattled up. You know, I know that there is only one Baresi, but I wanted to rub it into those Milan's haters. So that's why
there's two, actually. Franco and Giuseppe.
Wishing that maybe this guy here, Tomori, might be the next Baresi. Who knows? Who knows? You know, it's better into those guys because the more you do it, the more upset they get, especially if AC Milan keep staying on first place. All right?
Dad, anything you're looking forward to before we end?
We forgot Ronaldinho, to mention Ronaldinho as one of the great players that played in Italy.
I
think Mike mentioned him.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for not listening to me, Gaetano. I appreciate that.
I guess somebody must have muted you because
Nice save, Gaetano.
no, I
only mute Antonio here.
I think this format works pretty well, so it was pretty good.
Yep.
Now, if we can get a headphone for Antonio, would be good.
I know, so I don't have to keep unmuting him every single time. The entire time, I just have to keep, or we could just leave him mute the entire time.
I like that idea better, Marco.
But we know how the fans are. I think it's good, and I want everybody to let us know who you guys want to see us chat with. Again, we've already had Giuseppe Rossi on. I think it'll be funny to see Antonio you interact with some of these guys, or maybe we'll get your friend Phil, your good friend, and start getting some chats
from Philadelphia,
or Sia. So we'll get some people on, guys. As always, thank you to everybody that was watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and as always, we'll see you soon. Ciao ragazzi.
Forza Campobasso.